What's going on? This is Marcus and Aaron, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking about fitness industry issues. Issues. So there's just a handful, just a few. In this day and age of information, absolute overload, where you can get it from social media, you can get it from your neighbor who's literally never picked up a weight, and all of a sudden they're an expert. There's so much stuff out there. What do you think is one of the main issues?
I think applied knowledge or not applying knowledge well, but then really probably the biggest is just not knowing. And so then you learn one thing and then that one thing becomes the solution to everything. So if you're a hammer, everything is a nail. Yeah. And it's not, if you're a hammer, you're just waiting for a nail to go. No, you're just smashing everything. No, burpees, more burpees, only burpees. Because I love burpees or something. And well, I don't, but I mean, right. So
I actually don't hate, I'm one of those weird people that don't hate burpees, but I also don't do hundreds of them. So maybe that's why. Nobody forced me to do it.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with the burpee. There's something wrong with the really bad burpee, right? Or doing burpees into excess or, something like that. So obviously, and that's the issue, right? Is like, you'll learn something that is good, but then that thing becomes the thing and the only thing. And it's like, we do more than just get up off the ground with a kettlebell overhead.
Yeah. I think one of the... just sliding right in there.
I just got my shiv.
I would say I was about to say this anyway. It wasn't just because of that. But I think one of the biggest issues that I see is dogmatic views. And not just on specific tools, but just in general. People have the way that they know how to do something, or they know what they know, and they don't want to venture out in any other way. They don't want to be questioned. They just want to find more of what is going to confirm what they already think they know. So when you have this super limited, narrow way of thinking, way of training, and then going in line with the, everything's a nail, then what happens? You probably injure people. You don't really take full advantage of the tools that you're using. You don't really get results, the best results that you could get, because you get stagnant. You do this. And I've gotten great results from very basic, very, particular programs. But if you try to do the same thing all the time, it's like, I love that saying, everything works some of the time, nothing works all the time.
Yeah. Broccoli and chicken, that's it.
That's all you need.
That's it.
And broccoli has more protein than steak. Remember that? Yeah. Didn't you know that?
Well, but here's the thing. Like, broccoli and chicken, it's an amazing meal, but I have not met a person that lived only on broccoli and chicken. And that'd be a rough go at it. If that's all you ate for every single meal of every single, right?
Are you gonna get jacked? Are you gonna get shredded, bro? Maybe, good for you.
Is it sustainable? Are you gonna be able to do it for the long haul? Right. And so I think some of the wiser people, in the industry that I've met, they've been doing it for a really long time, right? Not just learning about it, but doing it for a really long time. They're continuously learning. They're lifelong learners. They will never, they approach every room, they approach every scenario, always a white belt. What am I gonna learn from this? Yeah. Even when they're, coaching clients or something like that, right? And so they're continuous in their mastery, right? The best master coaches are the master coaches that are continuing in their mastery every single day, all of the time. And they're humble enough to go, man, I screwed up, or I didn't do that thing right, or maybe I need to learn a little bit more. And mostly what happens is they come in with this personal humility, professional will, right? Like, hey, I want to get you these results, but I have enough humility to know that I don't know everything, right? And I've learned enough to realize there's way more stuff for me to learn than I have time in my life to learn. So here we go. We're gonna put our best foot forward and do the best things that we can. We're gonna measure, we're gonna adjust, and then we're gonna hit it again. And we're gonna measure and adjust and hit it again.
I think taking that, emptying your cup every time you try to go learn something, that's such a huge part of the fitness industry that's lacking. And you see it in the people that are absolute leaders, where they're constantly emptying their cup. They're constantly looking for that slight edge, that different perspective that's going to allow them to impart better knowledge on their client, or just stay in a slightly different way. But again, what's more prevalent is, this is how you do it. If you don't do it this way, you're an idiot.
You're stupid.
You're a freaking idiot. You're doing it wrong. You might as well just turn in your whatever implement you're using card. And that's the problem, is there's so much of that. There's much more of that than there is of the,
That tool is dumb. This is the only good tool.
Oh, it's my favorite. Oh, that was good. That was gonna be my next thing.
We won't even venture into social media because I feel like that's something.
another topic.
It's a whole other deal.
In fact, we're gonna do that on a different episode.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, because I could talk about influencers. I could talk about there's a million things that we can jump into with that.
Going back to what you just said, because that's such a big part. It's so. You see it so often in comments on things. And I mean, I know we're not talking about social media, but you see this anyway, where it's like, this tool is stupid. That tool is better. You only need this tool. You only need that. And it's all based on this one person's perspective who most likely isn't a coach, most likely isn't a trainer. And now they think that is the only way. And it kind of goes back to, everything's a nail. Everything, or if you're a hammer, everything's a nail. And it just drives me absolutely crazy because that person could be getting so much more, but their own ego is forcing them to be like, now you only need bars. If you don't use bars, you're a fill in the blank. Yeah. And
only need kettlebells.
You only need kettlebells.
You only need battle ropes. Yeah.
Said everybody. I love battle ropes.
Well, so I mean, that's something that like I talk about that in the benefits of battle rope, and it's really has nothing to do with battle ropes. It has everything to do with force. Like force is the thing that creates the adaptation. Force is force, right? Force is not barbell, or force is not kettlebell, or force is not battle rope, or force is not body weight, or force is not calisthenics, or whatever it is that's your force is not burpees, right? That is a type of force for those areas of muscles and those movement patterns and things like that. But force is force. Like, so as long as that particular tissue, those particular fibers that I'm trying to get to adapt have enough force, right, to create an adaptation, well, then it worked. Does it matter that I'm, weirdly and insanely and awkwardly attracted to only barbell, and so then it has to be in barbell form only? But what if I can't do that particular movement pattern for that particular muscle fiber for those particular joint complexes with the barbell? Is it okay for me to try a dumbbell or try a kettlebell
or what if it's not accessible to that person at that time? Even if it's something that you enjoy doing, you might not be able to do it at that time. So widening your view, your scope, putting more tools in your toolbox is only going to allow you to have more. But going back to the first thing you said about not enough application, I think that's a huge part of the fitness industry. Issues in the fitness industry are a lot of experts who have zero experience, which is interesting, don't you think? That everybody can know so much about something, yet have less than a year of training and yet less than a handful of clients. So not having that real world application.
That is hard to say. Real world. And to think that was a show with so many seasons.
Good thing they didn't have to say it too many times fast.
Yeah.
They don't have enough real world application. I can't say it without laughing. Actual application. Yeah. So they don't understand that what they learn might work some of the time, but it doesn't work all the time. It doesn't work for everybody. But having that experience like you've had working in your gym, like I had working with a lot of clients, you see how you can traverse those issues with experience, with knowledge from different areas, how to kind of patch things together, as opposed to use this is all you need, and this is all you're ever going to need.
Yeah, that's to me one of the greatest silver linings of COVID and the whole pandemic and the whole stay at home.
People watching this 20 years from now, they're like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Maybe it got worse. I don't know.
Oh, don't be all Nostradamus on us now. Listen. We're fine.
I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm a glasses half full guy. I'm an eternal optimist. However,
one of the silver linings.
And that's the thing, because I'm an eternal optimist. That was the silver lining that I saw. Is like people are stuck at home, and oh crap, they're out of all the equipment that I want. And then I'm ducking and dodging and adapting and overcoming as a trainer. How am I going to get this person the results that they were getting when I had all the equipment at their disposal and my disposal in my gym, but now they can't come to my gym. I can't go to my gym. What am I going to do? And so the really good trainers were able to, if they had to, go back into the books, go do some more research, go figure out different methodologies, different ways, or utilize the same principles, but now with completely different tools, or teaching their clients how to make some makeshift tools on the fly, because man, everybody's out of everything. So here's how you make a sandbag.
And MacGyver of fitness.
Yeah, right. But I can think of off the top of my head like 5 people right now that they were able to adapt, overcome immediately, and their clients never skipped a beat. However, unfortunately, the issues in the fitness industry, so many people, this is the only way we can do it. So it's like, well, I guess you're just gonna sit at home and get fat on your couch.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do anything. And being able to adapt, but this gave people so much freedom to be able to find what works for them, to again, see how all these different things that they were doing before, or that one thing they were doing before, how they can expand on it and make it even better. And so now it's more customizable. It can adapt and go even bigger than what they could have ever done, having that same narrow mind. So I definitely agree with you on the silver lining on that, where it just got a lot more creativity. I think that's another thing kind of missing is people want to be experts. They want to think they know everything about something. So they're going to take some information, they're going to regurgitate it, they're going to cut it up with their own experiences, and then say, this is how you do it. But when you start to get creative, when you start to enjoy the process of creation based on what you're doing for your clients or for your own workouts, you can, again, go way further than what one system will impart on you.
Yeah.
And so not enough application, not enough experimentation to see if something works. Just because you read an article about something doesn't mean that that is the truth. Just because you read a journal or a research article about something doesn't mean that that's the truth. So you want to be able to question things while at the same time taking information and realizing that there are a lot of standards out there that we want to, kind of go off of.
Yeah, and again, nobody has to be an overnight, research analyst expert, a statistician or any of these things to kind of get around that. Like those are the issues in the fitness industry, but some of the solutions are just, hey, come into situations, always a white belt. What am I going to learn? Am I going to do it perfect? No. That's never going to happen. I mean, he might, but I'm not, right? It's not going to be perfect, but is it going to solve the problem? Is it going to help me get one step closer to my goals? Am I going to enjoy the process? Yeah. Am I going to learn? And the thing is, like, I go into every workout, even, some of these workouts that I'll do for myself, right? I've done so many times before, but I'm learning new little nuanced things in this workout that I've played over and over and over again, right? And it makes that workout better. It makes my experience better. And I'm getting better gains from it this time, or I'm realizing that I'm super old. And it's not this. It's just not that. Hey, it's a touch of experience.
No, I think another issue is that not necessarily for the fitness industry, but for the fitness users, the industry users, is a lot of people don't want to take the time to understand themselves. They want to just be told information, told what to do, go and do it. And there's a good level of, okay, you're going to get great results with that. But if you really want to go beyond what someone can give you and really be able to create something yourself and really fine tune it so that you're always feeling good, you're always not in pain, or you're never in pain would be a better way of saying that. Yeah. You're actually enjoying, you're always never not in pain.
Not pain.
Right? And taking the time to experiment. And that even goes for people in the fitness industry, taking the time to experiment with something that's outside of what you do or done in a different way. Like, I love kettlebells done in a certain way. I love incorporating them where I incorporate some flow, I incorporate a little bit more tension, I incorporate a little bit more strength. But like, I look at something like sport where I'm like, man, I don't do kettlebell sport. But I see that, I'm like, I was very against it when I first saw it. I'm like, this is weird. Why would anyone do that? It's stupid. What? People with issues. But I start to see things. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go through some of these courses and have that empty cup mentality. And I got so much more from it just because I was able to fortify what I did. I was able to question what I did. And then that allowed me to say, okay, here's a better way to do this particular thing, which led me to start incorporating different types of flows and other things like that. So had I been very strict on the way I was doing it, I never would have experienced that. Yeah. So it's so important to go into that, anything with that mindset of how can I come in with an empty cup? How can I incorporate, or I can, use what is useful, reject the rest based on each situation and not just treat everything like a big old nail. Whack.
So yeah, obviously talking through fitness industry issues, but then, kind of swooping around and like, hey, this doesn't have to be the issue, right?
I'll say negative.
Okay. Fitness industry is broken. It will never be fixed.
We've got the answer. Come to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you worship anything else but Living.Fit, we will come and find you.
In the name of Aaron.
No, but it's like, but yeah, so here, these are some issues, but hey, there are solutions to it. And like the main solution is understanding like, hey, your way isn't the only way and it's not the best way, even if you have a really good way, right? And chances are, right, if you know anything, right, you're probably doing some really good things, but that doesn't mean that's the end of your race and you've finally made it, right? It goes on. Like we could just learn and learn and learn and continue learning.
I was gonna say, if you have a really great way, it's kind of like being cool. You don't have to remind people that you're cool. People will tell you. You don't need to sell us on how great your way is. People will come. And if you have something that's amazing and that's helping a lot of people, that's awesome. And those people that I know you look up to, that I still look up to, those are some of the most humble, amazing coaches I've ever worked with personally or worked with online. And that is one of the best things about the fitness industry, is that you get access to so many amazing coaches out there.
Yeah, and there are issues in the fitness industry, but there's also incredible experts that are humble, but will teach you a ton, and we can all go and learn from them and get better, and it can continue to make our craft and make what it is that we do better, make what it is that we give to our clients and our customers even better.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a competition. Everybody is trying to compete and fight for some piece of space. There are so many fitness enthusiasts. There's so many people that we can help. We don't have to be fighting against each other. All you're doing when you're competing against somebody else is you're taking away from what you could potentially help somebody with. So, man.
But there's a ton of people that need help that are so put off by, this arrogance and this legalism and this dogma or whatever.
These fights within organizations where you're just,
and it's like, man, we could be helping more people that actually need the help, but instead we're too busy like fighting each other. And it's like, we don't have.
No, it's like the birds in Finding Nemo. Mine. Like, yeah, all right, I'm just gonna come around and actually get the fish.
Yeah. Right. So
that's good.
Finishing fitness issues.
Hopefully that was engaging. You got something from that, but we'll see you on the